I think we're good. I think we're good on that. Yeah. I like guitar. Sometimes I play guitar. I like Guitar Cat. What do you think about guitar? The writing process is, I have an idea for a song, or just a riff, and then we go to this motherfucker and we put it down, and then we used to go to this punk house where Nouns started, but the cops shut it down. Thank you, cops. We used to go to this fucking punk house, right? And we would sit around and we'd drink beer and smoke pot. Songs. That was the writing process. It's 4 good friends drinking beer and smoking pot. That was it.
What about the things will get better? But that's not the truth, and you know better. So you try to not, but nothing is better. You work and try, cause you know better. Nothing comes easy, nothing comes free, but it just seems like I can't get out of this deep. But shit, I must have stumbled into accident. Disorder and street, I must have stumbled into it.
The idea of the second record was kind of to do kind of like an autobiography type record that was also relatable on a lot of different levels, because I think we got tired of listening to songs. I mean, we like them, but songs that are just about like failed relationships or bullshit about that, like, not that there's anything wrong with that, we just get tired of it. The record was conceived to be a record solely about mental illness, mostly because of the different members in Nouns all dealing with a lot of bullshit. It's just a good way to get that shit out, I don't know.
And the consequences kill me! Dominate the family! The pressure was too much! The pressure! The pressure!
I know when you're looking like on the Bandcamp and the lyrics are all signed by people. Do you want to talk about that?
The lyrics for Still It All really true, and which is I think that's the point of the record. We wanted to make something that was the most honest writing we could possibly do, and my friends and I kind of realized that each week I was not necessarily a different person, but my mentality changed before I eventually got on mood stabilizers and the right dosage of SSRI, and my anxiety pills and everything. And during this whole time, I was going through like extreme addiction problems with benzos in particular, and part of the lyrics are pretty much my immature and angry and cynical side, and there's kind of the grown-up version of the cynical side, which the immature side is very suicidal. That part was me in the last 2 suicide attempts in the last year, which I talk about a lot in the record, and that's Jackson. My mother wanted to name me Jackson initially, and call me JD for some reason, like Jackson David. So JD is the grown-up version of Jackson. He's less cynical. He's more. He understands that the world's not a shitty place. He's simply just, he doesn't want to be alive anymore. And then there's Olivia, which is, I would go through these phases where I was obsessed with self-help books and obsessed with just totally devoted to this positive lifestyle, and it would never last. And I considered Olivia to be the golden goddess inside of me that was positivity, and I tried my best to be her, and I would write these. I would write these fucking things that were just fucking like something you would give at a seminar for troubled youth, and I would never show anybody. And then the next week I'd read it and I'd be like, this is bullshit. This is fucking, I'd be hateful, I'd be cynical again, and I don't know which one was me, is Jackson or JD or Olivia. And then there was Oliver, and Oliver pretty much senior year of high school, I had a lot of thoughts and I had a lot of obsessions, and one of my friends who consistently got picked on his whole fucking life, I sat him down, we just fucking around, and things kind of got quiet, and I asked him, was like, do you ever think about hurting anyone at the school? Like, he's like, what do you mean? And it's like, school shooting or something like that. And he said, yeah, all the time. It's like our last day of school. And I was like, I'm really glad you didn't. I'm really glad to be your friend. And I told him I felt the same way. Like, all throughout high school, I was obsessed with the idea. I wasn't on medication. No one had, my parents weren't really that educated about psychoactive drugs, and Oliver is this childlike persona that was just obsessed with. He felt unappreciated. He was just obsessed with the idea of hurting people.
Why did you put the tracks in the order that you did? Was it a story, or is it just?
It's just random ordering.
Like fragments.
Yeah, it's all over the place. The first 2 songs were ordered correctly. The 14 and I Feel So I Fell, because I think the overall depression, everything started with something that happened to me when I was 14 years old. I talked about that as Olivia because I wrote this I don't even like spoken word shit. I wrote this thing when I was feeling more positive, I was feeling more optimistic about helping people. And that's kind of what sparked everything. But what sparked my decline and what led me to attempt suicide the first time back in May was I feel as though I failed out of college. I felt like a fuck up. I felt like there was nothing else I could do in my life. I couldn't even make it through my first year of college. And I started writing the record, and I think initially the record was going to be something really happy and cool, but it ended up being being only about depressing things. And it all started, I think, when the day I found out I failed college. So those two are in order, definitely. The last song was the most recent, and it was written February 19th, the same day that we put the record up. And that was about something that happened February 7th until the 19th. I was on Family Watch. That was about that. So that one chronologically is correct, yeah. If anyone has a printer that could print out some flyers. I don't have a printer.
Is that Mark Garza?
No.
Asking for a printer.